Have you guys ever wanted to watch anime with me? Well, now you guys can. We watch all type of anime and we do it on a nightly basis. All you guys have to do is follow me on Twitch and click the link in the description to join the Discord. With that out of the way, let's get into the intro. So this is a video that I've actually been itching to make ever since it dropped in the manga. It's divided a lot of fans. A lot of people are confused. It was very emotional, right? And the reason why I didn't do it because I wanted to wait till it dropped in anime so I could use some clips because I already know how emotional it's going to be. And you guys are probably going to be like, well, how am I willing to defend Eren knowing that Mikasa is my favorite character? Well, I love them both, right? They're my second favorite duo in all of anime, only behind Luffy and Zoro. And I love them so much, and there's nothing that could happen that can bring me to not like them and that they could go apart, right? I always pair them together. They're a yin and a yang, and their relationship, well, it's out of this world, all right? But we'll talk about that in another video. But if you guys enjoy regular Attack on Titan content, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you guys never miss out on a video. We post this every Sunday. I'm actually going to have a video, I think tomorrow or Tuesday, when you guys are seeing this, talking about stuff that happened recently, but we'll talk about that later. But with that out of the way, my name is Potential Unleashed, and let's talk about, does Eren truly hate Mikasa? So does Eren actually hate Mikasa? The short answer is no, he lied, right? But before I talk about her, I gotta talk about Armin because he was in the scene as well. And the reason why we don't talk about Armin as much as Mikasa because the scene is heavily, I guess, more implied on her because their relationship is different than Armin and Eren's, right? I think it goes, and who Eren really cares about, I think it goes Mikasa's on like S tier, Armin's right under her on A tier, and then we have people of Squad Levi on like a B tier, and then everybody else on Paradise in the world, well, they're about the same. And the reason why I'm saying that, because I think Eren is now shifting from where him and Mikasa's relationship were friends to now it's starting to switch more towards where they're lovers, but we'll talk about that a little later in the video. But we're going to talk about Armin because, well, he did hate on him a little bit, right, saying a lot of crap. And when you look at it, right, Eren, he didn't mean any of it because when they were younger, he protected Armin from bullies a lot. He hung out with Armin. Before Eren met Mikasa, Armin was his only friend, right? And then in season 3, we saw him saying that Armin would be the one to save humanity, not him, was crying over that scene. And it just shows how much that Armin means to him. So it's all that BS that Eren made up for what? How long have they been friends? Longer than Mikasa, longer than, I'm going to say 10 plus years. So he just made this all up and now he doesn't like him. I disagree. And you can tell that there was this scene when Armin went to go punch Eren, right? Eren, he didn't flinch, he didn't move, right? And if somebody were to punch me, all right, I don't care if I predict that it's coming, I'm a flinch, all right? A fist in my face is a fist in my face, right? But Eren looked more like, yeah, I deserve this, or like he kind of knew it was coming, right? And then Eren, he didn't, he was trying to be civil and he didn't attack at Armin until after some Jaegers came in. That's when he started beating the snot out of Armin, right? And then he didn't break his nonchalant facade until Armin said, what, is this the freedom you wanted? The freedom to hurt Mikasa? Or are you just a slave to yourself? Or something along those lines, right? And that's when Eren, after Mikasa and freedom and slave were brought up, that's when Eren broke his nonchalant attitude and got a little bit upset. So now we're going to talk about Mikasa, right? Some of their moments that they've had throughout history, because Eren said he's always hated her ever since she was a child, which I kind of find hard to believe. How the heck can you hate somebody for, what, 10 years? That's pretty impressive, right? Give this man an Oscar, all right? But he wrapped the scarf around her when she was young, when they were kids, gave her warmth, gave her a home. He talked about her joining the military police. Why is that important? Well, he called Jean a coward for joining the military police, but he said he wants her to go there because she'll get special treatment, she won't be on the front lines, etc. He wants her to live a while, right? Because he cares. He also saved, I tried to do 3. He also saved her from Dinah Fritz saying that, he'll wrap the scarf around her or whatnot. And then in the I'll do it this way. In the manga, they actually went a little bit more in depth in that scene where he felt truly sad and a little bit upset because he was the one who wounded her, right? He caused her ribs to be broken and he felt responsible. So that's that. And then another one is when they were getting tried for insubordination, that he was the only one who noticed that she had lost weight. Nobody else was paying attention to that. So you mean to tell me all of this that Eren did that and more, that he all of a sudden hates her, I smell BS, alright? He does not hate her. I think it's just that he's trying to push her away because he loves her so much that he doesn't want to lose her. He doesn't want her to be sad when he dies. He wants her to forget him, I guess, when he dies, right? And so, you know, I don't think he had to do this. I'm not a Jaegerist. I want to get that out the way. I think about 75-ish% of what Eren's doing is right. I think 25% he's in the wrong. But I'm more on the team line. I'm Team Mikasa, right? She's my favorite character, so whatever she does, I'm gonna fluff. I'm gonna follow her, right? But Eren's trying to abandon his friends and push them away when he really doesn't have to, right? But at the same time, I feel like he's scared because decisions that he's making, he doesn't want to affect them, right? For a prime example, Squad Levi dying, right? If he would have transformed earlier, and they probably would not have died, especially if Levi was there. So he doesn't want his friends to, I guess, be collateral damage and get hurt. And I was going to give 3, but I think 3 is a little bit much. So I'm going to give 2 examples of other animes where one is talking about friends and the other one is more about romance. So I'm talking about One Piece first and then Twin Star Exorcist. And guys, I'm going to play the clip. I'm going to play the lie, what happened, why the characters were lying, and then I'm going to play the truth right afterwards so you guys can see what I'm talking about, and then I'll explain it after the clip is played.
帰れ下級海賊ども。コンカス
言いたくもねえ言葉並べやがって嘘つくんじゃねえよこんなもんで俺を追い払えると思ってんのか俺のこと蹴るだけ蹴っても痛えのはお前だろお前がいねえと俺は海賊王になれねえ最後に帰りたい
So in One Piece, I could have used another scene, but I feel like this one that I'm using is basically identical in my opinion, right? So Sanji, he was put in a lose-lose situation, a lot of options, right? He had to go to Whole Cake Island because they had the person, his father figure, was being held captive, his crew was being held captive. Then they also put some handcuffs around his wrist to where if he were to leave the island they would explode. Why is that important? He's a chef and he needs his hands, right? He also uses his hands in battle with his kick course, right? It helps him fight, you know, he doesn't throw hands. But then we see Luffy, he's like, okay, well, let's go to Whole Cake Island, let's talk to Sanji, talk it out, see what's up, what's on his mind, right? And they went, and then Big Mom Pirates, they're like, oh, well, Sanji doesn't like you guys, he never did, right? He thinks you guys are low-class pirates. And Luffy's like, hold up, that doesn't sound like Sanji, we've been through so much for him to push us away like that, right? And he said, if he's truly happy, Sanji wouldn't say that crap to us, which is true. But then later we see when Luffy goes to try to talk to Sanji, Sanji kicks him in the face and he's like, get packing, you low-class pirate, basically spewing lies, right? And then we go and we see him going all out, trying to push Luffy away, push Nami away, push the crew away, right? Kicking the crap out of his captain, right? And then we see him finish him off, right? But then later, you know, in that scene, we see Luffy, he get up and he's like, well, I know this is only hurting you. I can't become king of the pirates without you, right? And we see Sanji crying. So this is showing that this isn't what he wanted. And then later down the line, we see Sanji tell Luffy about what his problems are. And we see him crying, saying he truly wants to come back to the crew. This is exactly what happened in Eren and Mikasa's situation. Eren's shouldering the burden all alone. And then Mikasa and Armin trying to talk it out with him. But he says some harsh things that he does not mean. And he truly doesn't mean it. He's pushing them away. And he physically hurt Armin just like Sanji physically hurt Luffy. And see how the scenes are identical, all right? There is where the character is lying, right? And then later we get the closure, right? In this example, at the beginning, Sanji beating up on Luffy, that was his lie. And then later when he cried saying he wants to go back to the crew, that's his closure. Just like in Attack on Titan, we've gotten the lie, we haven't, the truth slash closure hasn't come out yet.
悪いけど俺らコンビ解消だ。
だから私も
やめろ。
それでも私はろくろと一緒に。
わかんねえかな。邪魔なんだよお前。足手まといなんだよお前。
私も一緒に悩んであげたかった。君が波状王になってしまってそれだけ。
And then Twin Star Exorcist, this is the one about lovers where at first they were exorcists who hated each other, but then the more and more they worked together, the more they started catching feelings for each other, right? And then later we get the scene where Rokuro and Benyo, they are fighting her brother, right, who turned evil or whatever, and Rokuro and Benyo, they got separated. She was like under this dome type thing where he couldn't break in, and he had to witness on the outside that she was getting beat to the point where she was left bedridden, right? And so Rokuro, he felt bad and he felt weak because he couldn't help her. So he went over to her and he was all like, later that night, he said, yeah, we're breaking up this duo. She was like, huh? He's like, yeah, I don't like you. I never did. Like, I need you to get on somewhere. You're only holding me back. And she was crying to the point where, well, she passed out because she couldn't take the pain, right? But Rokuro really didn't mean that. He met with the head exorcist. I don't remember his name, but if you guys compare, kind of like Gojo Sensei, right? How he's high above everybody else, and then there's exorcists. So, well, there's Jujutsu sorcerers. It's kind of like him. He went to him because Rokuro has a power within him to make him into the Cataclysm King, which would take all the cursed energy, which is kind of like, I guess, the Nen or Ki or stuff in that series, right? From everybody. So he said, well, if I unleash too much power, I want you to put this talisman in my heart that it kills me, right? And then he did eventually unleash too much power. It killed him. He got brought back to life, etc. And then later we see Rokuro and Benyo, they make up, they kiss, the closure happens, right? The lie was him talking about, what was the lie? Oh, him saying that he doesn't like and doesn't care for Benyo, and then the truth came out when he kissed her. Also, this is just an anime version. The anime and the manga, they went separate, but still, it shows what I'm talking about. And this is where we're going to get into manga spoilers, so if you guys do not want to be spoiled, then I highly suggest you click the timestamp that's on the screen. We're going to talk about chapter 130 right now. And we're also, well, yeah. And let me explain. There's two separate things I want to talk about 130. One, Eren's memories. And two, his conversation with Zeke. What does his memory have to do with anything? Well, there was 3 total memories that are important. I can only find 2. I don't know where the fluff the last one is. But basically, there's memories where Eren is, you know, I have a sheet of paper, right? My calculus work right here, but we're going to use this, all right? So let's just say, and I'll put it on the screen real quick, but let's just say that the memories, right, they have little squares, right? Little squares around the whole page, right? And Mikasa's the biggest one in the center of his memories, right? But he hates her. Why the heck would Isayama draw her to be the biggest memory if he hates her? She is the most important thing to him, right? And then we also see there was this memory that's really important. I'd say it was probably before they retook Wall Maria. Why Erwin's still alive, Marlo's still alive, and Sasha's still alive, right? And so we see Coney and Jean and Armin, they're laughing, and Sasha's laughing. Well, actually, no, not Jean. Jean is actually, you can, if you zoom in, and I'll try my best to zoom in editing, Jean is upset. You can see he has like those angry, jealous eyes. Why? Because Mikasa's smiling at Eren, and we're in Eren's shoes, right? We see from Eren's perspective. So I don't know what he's doing, right? But more likely than not, he's smiling back at her because, well, we see what's going on, and Jean wouldn't be jealous if it wasn't something along those lines. And then also in that chapter, we talk about how Zeke basically debunks saying there's no thing as an accurate ingrained behavior, and that he doesn't hate, isn't a slave, right? That she just loves him. And so Eren, that's when he realizes that I guess he loves her, maybe. I think he's starting to grow into that, but we'll talk about that in Monday's video, right? And then I think it's chapter 121 or 122, I'm not too sure. But basically when they're in past, right, looking at memory lane, they're really flying through memories like it's nothing. They don't really spend too much time there. And Zeke's like, alright, let's go to the next memory. And then he looks back, he's like, Eren? And Eren is staring at him wrapping the scarf around Mikasa, showing that he truly cared for her, right? That all of this is a facade. You know, guys, funny thing is, as you guys see, I'm still dressed in the same clothes. So I was recording this video before I did my review. But then when I was editing the video, I was like, let me check to make sure the chapter's not out. And the scans dropped down. I was like, oh, shoot. And I had talked about how this chapter would probably be the closure chapter, which it was. But I couldn't include it because I had recorded it before I read the chapter. But so I had to delete it and redo it. But this is the closure chapter, right? This chapter right here truly shows that Eren doesn't hate her. Why? Let me explain. So we get this scene, or I guess Mikasa gets headaches talking about, and I guess a flashback of Eren saying that he hated her, Ackerman's slave, stuff like that. But then later we see that they share this dream, right? Because I don't want to go too into it because I'm going to do this video talking about this part on Monday or Tuesday. But basically, people are saying that Mikasa, this is her being delusional, but the only thing that Ackermans are special about is that they can't be controlled by the founding Titan, that they can't be turned into Titans, that they have the Titan strength in their human bodies, and I think that's about it, right? Nothing else. So how could she be delusional and make this? No, Eren has the power of the founding Titan, and he was the one to make this dream, right? But it was a shared dream between the two. It wasn't like one or the other didn't want this to happen. Like, there's a little asterisk. I think some stuff would have changed, right? I'm not gonna get into it that much, but basically she's in the dream, and you know, this is where she told Eren how much he means her, that she loves him, that he's her world, right? And so they went and ran off, right? And they're living a quiet life together. And so, you know, yada yada yada. I'm rambling a little bit, but she the reason why it's connected is chapter 1, Eren was crying, and you know, he said he had a long dream, and Mikasa asked why was he crying, because he saw this. We saw the see you later silhouette, and then later this chapter Mikasa's crying. We get her perspective, right? She's in the dream and she's about to kiss him right then, and then we see that it's linked, right? This is Eren and Mikasa linked, and this is what I guess would happen if she chose that answer, and this is probably how they would live their life if war wasn't happening. But then we see the reason why Eren told her he hated her, because he wants her to forget him, right? He says, throw the scarf away, I want you to forget me, right? Because you're gonna outlive me. I don't want you to suffer. I want you to be free, right? Free from loving him. And Mikasa pulls out the scarf, and she's like, well, I can't do that, all right? She said, because we saw in, I think it was episode 7, where she was about to give up on life, but she decided to cling back, because if she didn't, she would forget all the memories of the man that she loves, right? And then we see Mikasa going in, and then she kisses Eren, you know, after cutting off his head. So that's the closure we got. And I just want to say this, in the promotional, we got the scene, chapter 137. In the promotion, we had 3 important information, right? That Levi killing Zeke, that was fulfilled in 137. We got the what if I chose another answer. We got that scene in chapter 138. And then I think in chapter 139, the one thing that we have not seen was him wrap the scarf around her. That's what it said. It said, I've wrapped it around just many times. We haven't seen it. Mikasa was the one to pull out the scarf and put it on herself, while Eren, he didn't do that yet. So we still have to see that. We still have to see his perspective. I don't think he's dead yet. He'll probably will end up dying, but like I said, I'll talk about that video in the dream a little bit later. So does Eren truly hate Mikasa? The answer is no. There's a lot of reasons why. He wouldn't have done all this from the past if he truly hated her, right? Everything that's going on. There's a lot of stuff going on, right? Eren has a lot on his mind, but I personally think that the reason why he said this is because he's starting to notice he's going from a little annoying brat, right? I didn't find him annoying. I liked Eren in season 1 and on, but he's going from that to being a man who's in love with this girl that's left him for so long, and he doesn't want to lose her, and that's the only, I guess, the only person that brings him happiness in his life. But guys, give me your guys' thoughts on this. What do you guys think? And if you guys still think Eren actually hates her after seeing this video, well, I don't know what to tell you, right? You guys are delusional. I'm sorry. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. It's on the screen and in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. And don't forget to unleash your potential.